Hey there, my name is Alexa. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, just welcome. In today's video, I'm doing an update to my Pan Those Eyeshadows. This project was created by Alexi here on YouTube. I will have her links down below along with the hashtag and some resources so that you can find other influencers and project planners who are also doing this project. Let's get into this month's update. So I'm very excited because I hit pan on, spoiler alert, 2 eyeshadows, and those are going to be the first that I speak about today. On the 16th of April, I hit pan on 2 shades. The first is this one from Rimmel, Magnif'Eyes palette, the Spiced edition, and it's this neutral shade down here. I'm not surprised that I hit pan on this. I was actually trying to prolong this a little bit because I knew this would be an easier shade to pan. It's not the most interesting color, but it's great to use as a blending shade. This was also an easy eyeshadow to just throw on for an extremely neutral look. I used this a total of 41 times in order to pan it, which I was a little bit surprised about because I think drugstore eyeshadows tend to be less densely packed, more powdery, and sometimes they contain less product per pan. This though had a net weight of 0.499 ounces for each pod here. So just to give you an idea. And it's strange also that this baby pan that I have right here, like very, very tiny pan, it's strange how that formation kind of started as sort of a needle pin drop type shape because I was always using a fluffy brush for this. I was using, oh my gosh, the number rubbed off on this, but it's a Sigma brush. I don't know if it's E24, E26, E28, but I would just dip in there and then just kind of like brush around the edges of my look or use it as a transition kind of shade or help me blend my eyeshadow look. And something similar happened to the next shadow as well that I panned, which I'm going to show you. The next eyeshadow is from the Maybelline Total Temptations palette, and I got this brown shade up here. Now, I was initially a little bit worried about this. All of this palette is sort of embossed with this wavy pattern. It was not a shade I was particularly excited about. I knew that I could possibly top up my bronzer with it, maybe. I can't remember if there's a bit, yeah, it's pretty much a matte. But I didn't really like the way it looked as a contour shade so much. Also, the thing about using it as a contour shade is if you're using a larger brush, you're not going to get pan as quickly because you're just brushing over the top layer. I used a fluffy brush and kind of just swirled it in there in between those 2 little waves to get pan basically. And I would often use it as a transition shade for the most part, and sometimes I would use it on the lid as well as sort of like a base and then top it up with another color afterwards. But like I said, I wasn't particularly keen on this shade because I felt it was really boring, and lately I've been much more into color eyeshadows, so I'm very happy to roll this out. It took a total of 31 uses for me to hit pan on this Maybelline shade. The next eyeshadow I have to show you guys is from my Naked 3 palette, and it is the color Burnout right here, 3rd shade in the palette. There's definitely a dip in this shadow. I'm actually wearing it right now underneath Chase on the lid, and I tend to do that sometimes where I just layer them just so that I can get more use out of it. Also, the other way that I like to wear this eyeshadow is actually mixed with deeper shades so that I can help lighten them and so that I'm able to utilize Burnout all over the lid, or just all over, basically all over the lid and the crease, essentially, to kind of just blow out my looks with darker shadows, if you know what I'm saying. Alone, it's sort of like a highlight shade that is a very pinky, frosty, not kind of my jam type of thing. I'm quite happy with the dip that I have, and I have used this a total of 31 times. In the last month, I've used it 9 times, and yeah, slow and steady. Following that, we have the shade from my Nude Tude palette from theBalm, and the shade that I got was Sassy, and sorry if this is getting blown out a bit by my light, but you'll see it in the close-ups. And I was worried about this at first, and now I'm thinking it might take me a minute to pan this because, and by a minute I mean a couple of months, honestly. I tend to use it with this brush from Real Techniques. This is the setting brush, and I use it as highlight on a daily basis. Well, daily basis. Every time I do my makeup, which is not daily, by the way. Highlight my cheekbone. I'll highlight underneath my brows, dip in the corner here. Sometimes I'll take it down my nose and the tip. Not so often. And I tend to use it to highlight my Cupid's bow as well before I do my lipstick. Because of that, the dent that I'm getting in the pan is a little bit broader than an eyeshadow brush, or if I were using a pencil brush to just highlight my inner corner. So I'm thinking maybe I'll have to alternate between this brush and a pencil brush to try to see if I can dig in a little deeper so I can hit pan faster. Or I could just simply enjoy the process. I know I could be mixing it. I haven't done that as much, but you know, when I put it on the inner portion of the lid and then I layer over another color onto the center of my lid, I'll like blend them together a little bit. Nothing too dramatic. We have this shade from the Urban Decay 15-year anniversary palette. Sorry, this is all mirrored and flashy, but I got the shade down here called Chase. This is a shade I used the least this month. So it has 16 total uses, but I only used it 4 times this month. I'm not surprised because I had 2 roll-ins on the 16th, and I'm working on quite a few Urban Decay eyeshadows, so it kind of depends on what kind of color story I'm going for on my lids, and so this just hasn't been, I haven't been in a very golden mood lately, but I'm wearing it on my lid today, paired with a new shade that I've rolled in. So there's that. So one of my new roll-ins is a MAC single. I recorded the roll-in process just for the sake of sticking it in the B-roll, but it's this shade right here called Night Divine. I'm using it right now. It's sort of a gunmetal shade, or similar to the eyeshadow by Urban Decay called Gunmetal, actually. I'm really happy that I have another dark shadow to work with for a liner. That tends to be my go-to these days. I just don't like washing off liquid eyeliner. I already find it a pain to wash off mascara at the end of the day. I'm not gonna wear eyeshadow without mascara unless it's just like a neutral wash of brown in the crease. So if I'm smudging something in my lashes, I'm definitely wearing mascara, and I would rather do this than wear winged liner with a liquid or a gel. So I'm looking forward to using this. Let me know in the comments down below how long it has taken you to pan a MAC shadow. This has a total of, how many grams are in here? 1.3 grams of product, and it's quite softly used, if I'm entirely honest. Most of my makeup is really softly used in terms of eyeshadows, which is something I obviously want to change with this project. Anywho, I don't think I mentioned this in past videos, but my last Urban Decay purchase was the Naked 3 palette, and it's just not something I reach for very often at all. It's kind of funny that all of these Urban Decay eyeshadows are being rolled into my project, but I have the Naked Cherry, which prior to being rolled in had never been used. I didn't actually buy this. I got Naked Heat and Naked Cherry in PR, and then I was not excited. I mean, I was a little bit excited about Naked Heat, and then at the time, I didn't care, honestly. But I'm happy that this is rolled in now because I actually ended up getting the shade Bang Bang, which is a really cute shade for the lid. I tend to use it as a lid shade, and then sometimes I'll use a little bit of Juicy in the upper inner corner, like up here or just above my crease shade, and it gives me this really peachy, pretty look, perfect for spring. Really happy about this. And I'm really impressed with the color story that I have right now. I think it's great. I'm super pumped to use it. I'm really happy about it because the last couple of months have been a little boring. In terms of companion shades, the Urban Decay 15-year anniversary has been great for companion shades. I tend to reach for just this entire middle row of shades. Magnif'Eyes Spice Edition shades. The two up here I used to like to use as liners. Nude Tude palette by theBalm. Sleek, Sexy. Today I used the black shade up here to just sort of deepen my crease even more. And the shade Juicy in the Cherry palette. I did not take as many selfies this month. It was just kind of a rough month for me, so I just didn't take as many pictures, but I do have one reel on Instagram with a flashy look if you guys want to check it out. I will link my Instagram down below. You can follow me via Alexa likes on there. I hope you guys have a blessed week. Thanks so much for watching. If you did make it to the end, kiss emoji in the comments down below. All right, bye.